Another leading lady, Lorie Medina. Hi, Lorie.
Hey, Lorie. Debbie. I think I'm your first ever field correspondent, aren't I?
I think so. Yeah, we're speaking with field correspondent Lorie Medina. So we were all discussing on the break what to ask you first. We're like, no, don't say that. Ask this. So we just want to tell us what it's like up there. Like, tell us the feel on the ground and what are people talking about and what have you been doing?
Is it blood in the streets?
Jenny's helpfully saying blood.
No, it's not. And let me explain. We're used to, being in Texas and, when we have fights in Texas and there's blood in the streets. In Iowa, everybody is so nice. I mean, I'm blown away. And like when you canvass in Texas or actually in any other state I've canvassed in around the country, not many people actually open the door, and the ones that do really don't want to talk to you. Well, let me tell you, in Iowa, not only do they open the door, but they want to talk to you. They want to have the conversation with you, and they're expecting to see you. So, it's just so awesome. I mean, I love it because they open the door, they welcome you, they're polite, they're kind. And, I'll say to them, hi, I'm Lorie, I'm from Texas, and I came to talk to you. And I want to know if you're going to participate in the caucuses on Monday. And then they'll say yes. Or usually they say yes. They rarely say no.
That's cool.
Because everybody's caucusing. They understand the importance of it. I mean, they understand the significance of it. And, and then I say, have you decided who you're going to caucus for? Do you have usually what they'll say is, well, I've got a top 2 or 3. So, and then you kind of start talking to them from there.
So what are their issues? What are they saying to you? What are the things that matter?
Well, and again, because they are so nice, they don't want to, it's kind of hard to pull information out of them, but, sometimes you can. And a lot of what I've been experiencing is because, everybody doesn't appear for Ted Cruz. And probably this would be if I was representing any other candidate. What they see is kind of a reflection of the candidate because they have been exposed to so much media and there's so much, bad stuff thrown around, said about candidates, that the other campaigns say that they kind of see like a veneer of, they don't see like the real thing. And so they kind of want to know what that candidate is really like. And so, and actually, one of the big things, and this should be, warm your hearts, ladies, and Texas, is that a lot of them are concerned that they want to have a man of faith. They want a godly man.
Awesome.
That is a big issue for them. And a lot of them are drawn to Ben Carson because of that. And, so they want to have those faith conversations right there on the doorstep, which I love.
That is awesome.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. And even if I don't get complete agreement out of them, when I leave, I tell them, I just want you to know Texans are praying for you. And every single one of them has said to me, thank you so much. And I appreciate what you're doing. And even if they didn't agree with Ted Cruz, they still say, I appreciate what you're doing. It's just, I loved it.
Okay. The big question I have, and forgive me for jumping in so much, but I'm really curious. It's sort of like going to Woodstock for a politician here, or a political junkie like we are. Okay, so what issue do you hear that is different than what we talk about? What is the big concern that they have that you would not hear in Texas?
Well, the ethanol thing is that's kind of a thing, but I really haven't had that many people talk about it. I mean, there's been a handful, but not a lot. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any big issues like that anything different for us. I mean, they are so faith-based up here that everything kind of revolves around that.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. So you had knocking on doors that you have somehow identified as Republican doors? Or, are some of these people say, no, I'm a big Bernie Sanders person?
No, I'm actually been going door to door, and it's not even really door to door. It's a very targeted canvassing, and these are people that are completely undecided. So, like anybody who's like a hardcore Ted Cruz fan and definitely going to vote for him, I don't go to their door. I'm only going to people that are undecided, which to me is fun. Because then I get to have that conversation and try to convince them to go to my guy.
So Lorie, what are you doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's a big day. We all want to be up there. What are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to be canvassing starting at 9 o'clock and going to probably about 5 o'clock. And then you're going to be so jealous, Debbie, I'm going to be a surrogate for Ted Cruz at one of the precincts. So what that means is, and for all the Texas listeners, the way the caucus system works is the Iowans, they go, to like their local church or school or wherever the meeting place is. Instead of going in and casting a vote like we do, they go in there and the room is split up between the candidates, and you go to your corner of the room where your candidate is. And if there's two with like Ben Carson and one with Huckabee and one with Santorum, and then there's 50 with Ted Cruz, and then there's 50 with Trump or whatever, then you figure out, well, maybe I need to get with one of those other guys. And,
we're all like jumping in, wanting to.
So
Lorie,
so everybody goes to their corners of the room, and then a surrogate for each of the campaigns gets to speak for 2 minutes. So I get to speak for Ted Cruz for 2 minutes at one of these precincts, and there's 900 of them. That's going to happen tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Wait, 900 precinct meetings all happening tomorrow?
Yes, wow. At 7 o'clock. Yes, and so I get to speak for Ted. Isn't that awesome?
It is. It's got to be very cool. So I recall actually 4 or 8 years ago, which time Santorum won? He won it 4 years ago in 2012.
Yeah,
the early call was that he had not won, and then later he had. So when do we likely even know what the answer really is of this incredibly complex process? When are we going to know?
Well, because of that, they were really ashamed at what happened last 4 years ago. And so they've done a lot of like technology upgrades and kind of quality assurances. I mean, they've gone to great lengths to make sure that doesn't happen again. They were really upset because that really bothered them. They were ashamed, and so didn't want that to happen again.
Okay, I got to jump in. This crazy clock here is telling us we're out of time. Lorie Medina, thank you so much for calling in.
So fun.
Love you, ladies.
Love talking to you. Okay,
Be
talk
safe.
to you soon. Come back after the break. Ladies, can we talk?